Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to a special report from MoCo Resistance. Today we're covering the Trump assassination attempt. Today is July 15th, year of our Lord 2024. We welcome new listeners and a new audience to the channel, giving you guys a big MoCo Resistance welcome. And to those that follow us on a weekly basis, welcome back. We were preparing this week's episode, regular episode 31, but this happened on Saturday, so a lot to cover. We wanted to wait until we got all the information in order for us to, we got the facts and making sure that we were following our checklist in terms of the information that was valid to present to you guys. So welcome again. In this special report, we're going to cover three sections. We're going to do some analysis. We're going to provide you some details, and we're going to go into what's next. So what's next for the country, what's next for the GOP, what's next for Trump, what's next for the deep state cabal, Democrat, Marxist political party, and let's get right to it. So in terms of the analysis, this assassination attempt was approved by the Biden administration and by Biden himself and his handlers. There are many people who don't think this is true, or who think this analysis is way out of line, but it is what it is. And if you haven't been paying attention in the last year or two, Trump and his family have been targeted by the Biden administration. We covered this in our last episode, where we presented to you that we live under a police state under the Democrat-controlled White House. Second point, Democrats and globalist handlers are in panic and they are desperate. Their management and their protection of their lives and criminal activity will be exposed, and that's why they're freaking out. They are afraid that once Trump gets in, all the information pertaining to their criminal activity will be presented to the public, and the public will demand justice for all of them. So this is not only the Biden administration is the Union Party, it is the big pharmaceutical companies, big tech companies that have censored Americans' voices for a long time, especially during the last two elections. And we are gathered here to tell you the real truth, what's going on. We are an independent news outlet that provides independent news, and the only bias that we have is we're biased for truth, biased for we have no agenda. The only agenda we have is to present to you the real information, and all the information presented to you by the mainstream media is a lie, it's propaganda. They are a capture operation, as is all local media outlets here in Montgomery County. Continuing, all three-letter agencies are captured operations by the deep state cabal, including the Secret Service, and the assassination attempt is backfiring. So I don't know if you had chance to think about this, or maybe whatever side of the political spectrum you're in. This is a very poignant point in our history, because a candidate, a former president, was targeted for assassination, and this assassination attempt was approved and ordered by Biden and his administration, and that would include his handlers. He's a puppet of the Marxist globalists who want to take over America, who are dead set in advancing their one world order and pushing their UN Agenda 2030 that includes everything that is anti-American. reducing your freedoms, reducing your liberties, and basically eliminating everything that is American. So that is what we're fighting. Now, do you understand? We're at war with a government that is controlled by foreign adversaries, and that these adversaries are Marxists. We are under an occupation. So the Secret Service is this weekend has been shown to be a capture operation as well, and we'll have the data, we have the information to prove that to you today. All right. Why do we say that the Biden administration and Biden himself approved this hit? So as of 8th of July, Biden told donors on a private call, it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Now, you know this. And this is from a tweet from Kenneth Vogel. And the mainstream media have vilified Trump ever since he came down the escalator in 2016 to run for public office. And this is the result. This is the result of the mainstream media and their proxies pushing the narrative that Trump is it's a Nazi. He's going to be a dictator. He's a threat to democracy, which is completely wrong, which is completely untrue. Under Trump, I mean, now you see it. You have they called him a racist, and he is fighting for the rights of all Americans, and the proof of this is the support of Black communities, Hispanic communities, and in all minority communities in all over the country. All right, let's continue. So, Mike Collins put out a tweet. Joe Biden sent the orders, and that would be correct. And this is a quote from the donor meeting that he had in July on July 8th, 7th or 8th. He said, "I have one job, and that is to beat Donald Trump. I'm absolutely certain I'm the best person to be able to do that. So we're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye." So Biden said this. Okay, so let that sink in a little bit. Okay, so this shows this assassination attempt shows that the Democratic Party is imploding before your eyes. They are desperate. They have lost their base. They have lost the country. They have lost the Black vote. They have lost the Hispanic vote. They have lost the narrative in their controlled mainstream media. They have lost the public opinion, and they are scared because their tactics are not working anymore. The time where Americans just blindly believed what they said is those days are over. Pandemic, the lies during the pandemic, the lies that were exposed during that time woke up America, and not only that, but the Biden administration, their proxies going after Trump, Biden approving the raid to Trump's Mar-a-Lago state in Florida, are examples of that. They went after him when he was a president. He was impeached twice, and he's currently going under investigations and legal cases, which we'll touch in a little bit. But the deep state, the cabal has gone against Trump ever since he decided to be a political candidate. So the story the mainstream media is telling you about what happened is not accurate. We'll show you how the mainstream media didn't even say it was an assassination attempt. They said he fell, and that's why he had to be carried off the stage. Incredible. And I mean, this should wake up every American, regardless of your creed, race, religion, nationality, political leaning, etc. Because this is what you're seeing. What you're seeing today is what America saw in 1963 when the deep state cabal took out JFK. Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. The deep state cabal used a lone fall guy to carry out their assassination. Guy was controlled by, of course, the deep state cabal. Fall guy probably not the shooter. Others involved, and documents and the CIA documents have revealed that they carried out the assassination and multiple shooters were involved. The deep state cabal are going to use this to attempt to fodder false flags. So, in addition to blaming this on a supposed Republican person, registered Republican shooter, um, I mean, they're going to use this to carry out their false flag. And of course, they're going to use this to fodder violence and blame Trump supporters, to blame conservatives. And yeah, expect this to happen. They're going to cause chaos. And what you saw in 2020, the summer of 2020, is going to be walk in the park compared to what's going to happen in the coming days, weeks ahead, because the Democrats know they've lost the election, they lost the country, they lost the power, and they are going to do anything to disturb, to cancel, to eliminate their opponent. And I mean, I'm going to just say this: it's not going to be the last time that we'll see an assassination attempt against Trump by the Democrats. What we told you in the past, that Democrats haven't stopped trying to destroy the country since they lost the Civil War in 1865. It's true. This proves that statement, and it proves that Democrats hate America. They have always hated America because they wanted to keep slaves, and the Republicans, headed by Abraham Lincoln, didn't want that, and so they hate everything about America. They hate everything America stands for, and they are the racists. They are the dividers. They are the violent political party. All right, let's continue. We're going to go into details, parts two of this special report, and we have the shooter. Trump shooter has been identified as nursing facility employee Thomas Crooks. The gunman was employed as a dietary aide at Bethel Park Skilled Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. So the shots fired towards Trump. This happened at 6:11 p.m. Eastern Time. Trump reached by at least one bullet that grazed his right ear. If Trump hadn't turned his head to the right, the bullet would have hit his head. This was a complete security failure, and we have the receipts.
Former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino joins me now. Is this gross incompetence, or is it something even more scary that we can't even think about?
No, it's gross incompetence. I mean, how do you think about it, right? The counter sniper team, they train out, the Secret Service counter sniper team, obviously they're to mitigate a sniper threat. They train out to 1,000 yards. So we're talking about, say it was 200 yards. It was actually less than that where this shooter was, right? You're talking about a fraction of what they're trained at. They're also trained to spot guys in ghillie suits, cracked open windows.
Right.
He's on a white roof in broad daylight.
He's on a white roof.
Now, again, it'd be easy for me to say, oh, well, let's not get into Monday morning quarterbacking. Bro, it's not a freaking football game. It's the president of the United States' life. The Secret Service has one job. Well, outside of counterfeiting and protection, it is one job. You keep the body alive no matter what. They came within a millimeter of this guy losing his life. I don't understand some of the commentary that's, they did a great job. Well, the body guys, that response was, brave. They ran up there. They didn't know there could have been 10 more shooters.
Right.
No doubt. Know those guys. Pretty heroic what happened there. But the security failure in the perimeter is a complete, total debacle. No one should defend this.
So when you have guys, we just played the sound, when you have fans saying, hey, there's a guy with a gun over there, to multiple law enforcement guys, and they still are just looking around like this and no one. How does that happen?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm getting from a number of sources that people are feeding to me their information, obviously, because they want to fix it. They're concerned, and I think you're going to see a lot of whistleblowers. I'm hearing there were very, very few, I don't want to give an exact number, but very few actual, I don't think anyone else has reported this, actual Secret Service poststanders at that site, that they were temp HSI,
Right.
Homeland Security folks, which they're great folks. I'm not knocking them, but that's not what they do specifically. We do protection and we're trained for that. So I'm hearing that. I'm also hearing that the counter sniper team, that they had a problem seeing over the elevation. That's why I didn't engage right away.
Oh, come on.
But that's not the problem. The problem, well, it's the problem, but that's not the real. The problem is, where the hell was the aerial visual support? Why was there no helicopter? Why was there no drone? Why was there no FLIR? Why was there no thermal, forward-looking infrared? How the hell is the crowd acting as the freaking counter surveillance operation?
I know. If that's the best asset you have is random Trump supporters telling police that there's a guy with a gun, what technology are they deploying? They're bragging about they have all this new technology. I didn't see it. Tell me about when they rush him over to the van, I guess, the vehicle. It seemed like some of the Secret Service agents, I just don't know if they had the stature that I would expect to see and the gravitas that I would expect to see protecting the former president.
Well, the rule is maximum to the protectee, minimum to the problem, right? Because you don't know how many problems there are. So if you try to rush to one problem, like the Malcolm X shooting, and there's another problem over there, you're going to wind up getting dead quick. So they did the right thing by rushing to the protectee. On the evac out, yeah, you do see a couple of agents who one couldn't reholster the weapon and things like this. So, yeah, there were some definite.
And the other one was like 5'4".
Yeah, I mean, you're going to find out in the coming weeks that the physical fitness standards for men and women are different. That's weird because the protectee's weight and height doesn't change for a man or a woman.
Does Cheadle get fired anytime soon?
She needs to go immediately. She has disgraced the Secret Service multiple times. She needs to go. She needs to be fired ASAP, but Mayorkas doesn't have the cojones to do it.
Biden should do it. Leapfrog Mayorkas and terminate her.
Zero chance.
She's got to go. Well, he never fired anybody over anything.
He doesn't even know who the Secret Service director is. There's zero chance. Like, he fires her. No way.
All right. Dan Bongino, thanks so much for coming.
So we have this information coming out of private chat rooms. And of course, the Secret Service staff has been prohibited from making any public statements by the head of the Secret Service, and she is a lady, and she needs to resign because she has failed at her job. So let's look at this, I guess, statement on a private chat room from Jonathan Willis, and he's the gentleman right here. He's the agent right here. Secret Service agent that is looking at the shooter and has the shooter in his target. So the message goes, my name is Jonathan Willis. I am the officer in the famous photo of the two snipers on the roof at Trump's rally. I came here to inform all the public that I had the assassin in my sights for at least 3 minutes, but the head of the Secret Service refused to give me the order to take out the person. 100% the top brass prevented me from killing the assassin before he took the shots at President Trump. So this is proof that the Secret Service is a capture operation of the deep state cabal that is working hand in hand with the Democrat political establishment, the Uniparty, and the globalist overlords to take out Trump. And here we go. Trump here he was on stage. You can see the little light blue dot right there, and there is 450 feet away from the suspected gunman that had a visual, and the Secret Service snipers were the gentleman Jonathan Willis is right here. So as you can see, there's basically he had the suspected shooter on his site 3 minutes before the shooter took a shot, but he received orders not to take a shot. That is crazy. That should tell you everything you need to know in terms of who is pulling the strings and why they're not protecting Trump. The lower echelons of the Secret Service probably are not compromised, but the management, the top level management, the top officers, yes, they are compromised. and they are operatives of the people who want to destroy the country, who want to take out the president, and who want to make America a Marxist, complete a socialist country, 100%. Okay, let's continue. We have image after Trump was hit on the right ear right here. So there's a chunk of it that was taken out, and I mean, at this point, the violent rhetoric of the Democrat extreme left political party has caused this. A lot of people are to blame, directly and indirectly, but this is uncalled for. This is not America. This is not the United States. We're supposed to be the beacon light of the world, and we are failing. It doesn't matter what political party you support, you come from. This is wrong. This should not have happened. And it just shows you how in a decline America is in terms of its political divisiveness and hate, spurred not by Trump, not by the Republicans, but by Democrats. Are Republicans and conservatives going out to the streets and destroying property and looting and doing everything that Democrats do when they're angry? No. Republicans are responsible citizens for the most part, and they are conservative. They law-abiding citizens. So here we go. Right, some more details. Lone wolf theory by FBI Secret Service doesn't hold. So you'll see a video here where there's information that says that this guy, the shooter, didn't have any formal gun training. He didn't have I guess the training to carry out this shooting. All right, mainstream media didn't report the incident as an assassination attempt and didn't even cover it. So we're going to see some videos that prove this. And in New York, for example, none of the news networks showed any information, and they didn't even call it an assassination attempt. They said he fell, and trying to lie to the public and brush this off as something that wasn't. So Democrats are saying that this was staged. Oh my God. I don't understand how. I mean, at this point, if you're a Democrat, I'm going to pray for you, because you are lost. If you're a Democrat supporter at this point, from what you've seen from the Biden administration, the open borders, the economy, everything, they have lied to you. They have misled you. They have, don't you see a lot of people who are Democrat are jumping ship and going conservative because they're seeing the lies of your political party? How can you say this was staged? There was a gentleman that protected his daughter from the shooting and was shot and is dead now. Right, a Fed's saying that they can't access the shooter's phone, but they insist he acted alone. They can access. If this was a conservative phone, the FBI and the Secret Service would have already leaked all the information to the New York Times and Washington Post immediately, and to CNN, of course. The extreme left is deflecting as always, trying to save face, but they are to blame for this. They have incited violence. All right, so one major takeaway from the details is that the shooter appears to be a product of CIA program MK Ultra. Now, without giving you a lot of information, MK Ultra is a program that is recorded to be an official program by the CIA back in the 60s, 70s, where they programmed assassins and they programmed people to carry out these mass this kind of shootings. And we've seen this in different kinds of mass shootings, especially in the school shootings, that immediately they say, the FBI says the shooter acted alone, and then they don't provide any information. But I'll show you a video of what MK Ultra is. but this is my hypothesis that this shooter appears to be a product of a CIA program, MK Ultra.
The new goal is to cause an individual to become subservient to an imposed control, to the point where he will perform acts against his will and then have no memory of the act. The search for a real-life Manchurian candidate begins. In the Hollywood classic directed by John Frankenheimer, a hypnotized soldier is programmed to assassinate a presidential candidate. Like a clip from the movie, the CIA attempts to create its own Manchurian assassins using hypnosis and drugs.
You create this new identity inside that's hidden from the main part of the person by an amnesia barrier. And then using an access code, you can call out this new identity for whatever mission purpose.
To produce such an assassin, the CIA faces two main challenges: how to induce amnesia and how to program in new behavior. In 1957, Dr. Ewan Cameron, an eminent psychiatrist in Montreal, believes he has the answers.
The agency sought him out because they had noticed his work, in particular with two techniques: intensive electroshock and what he called psychic driving.
Cameron applies his techniques under the guise of normal therapy.
It's hard to say just how awful and horrendous what Cameron proposed and what our government financed was. There's a three-part technique which started with an effort to wipe out past patterns of behavior. And this was accomplished through the use of particularly intensive, repeated, high-level electroshocks until no more convulsions could be elicited from a patient.
Cameron then plays tape-recorded messages through helmets that are locked to his patients' heads. This psychic driving forces them to listen to repetitive statements for weeks on end to program in new behavior.
Now, the final phase was to try to wipe out all recollection of what had happened, and that was accomplished by putting people to sleep for 30, 40 days, accompanied by different kinds of cocktails of drugs. Now, that's not any kind of therapy. That's a brainwashing experiment. Since the Greeks first started thinking about medical ethics, the first rule was do no harm. That's a rule Cameron broke.
For 4 years, the CIA fully funds Cameron's work, hoping to use his techniques to create a Manchurian candidate. Psychiatrists throughout the nation, at hospitals, prisons, and some of the top universities, are similarly on the agency's payroll.
Right, so Obama spied. Okay, so how do we get here? How do we get to Trump being almost assassinated? So Obama spied on Trump before he won the 2016 elections. Clinton fabricated the Russian dossier to go after Trump, saying that Trump had ties to Russia. Trump was impeached twice, December of 2019 and January 2021. Biden authorized the Mar-a-Lago siege by the FBI, and you have Soros-backed judges, attorney generals charged, indicted, and prosecuted Trump. So this is the deep state right here in front of you. These guys belong to the globalists, like George Soros and others, to the World Economic Forum, and they don't work for the United States. They work for their globalist overlords. And this guy's a puppet. I mean, they're desperate. They're desperate now. They're desperate. They are so desperate to keep on holding on to power that they'll do anything, including trying to assassinate their main political opponent.
Biden told his donors that it's time to put Trump in a bullseye.
President Joe Biden told his donors on Monday, "We're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye."
Well, guess what? That is exactly what someone did today. They attempted to assassinate President Trump. And then let's add to the fact fact that my Democrat colleagues, and I'm going to call them out by name, Benny Thompson, the former chairman of the January 6th committee, just recently introduced legislation to take away President Trump's Secret Service protection. And here's his co-sponsors: Troy Carter, Barbara Lee, Frederica Wilson, Yvette Clarke, Bonnie Watson-Coleman, Jasmine Crockett, Joyce Beatty, and Steve Cohen, to take away his Secret Service protection. So never forget who these people are. Never forget the Democrats. They literally, along with the media, want Trump dead.
It is a sad, sad day for America. It is hard to find the words to describe the shock and the horror that people are feeling right now. But if you were following media outlets like CNN today, well, you would have thought that Donald Trump had a fall. Look at this headline: Secret Service rushed Trump off stage after he falls at rally. Falls. It was an assassination attempt.
We are not going to back down, and we are not going to live in fear. That's why I'm a gun owner. They're going to have to pull him out of my cold, dead hands. And I am not going to live in fear, and President Trump is not going to allow it either. As a matter of fact, I know I saw my president stand on that stage just after he stood up and pump his fist in the air, and he said, "Fight." Well, we are going to fight. We're going to fight for our freedoms. And we're going to stand up against these Democrats and Antifa and whichever sick and deranged leftists want to murder every single one of us, murder President Trump, or scare us into submission, because that is never going to happen, because I'm hearing it from real people every single minute on my phone. They are pissed. We are going to win this election. We are going to elect Donald John Trump to be our president, and we're going to make these people pay for every single thing they have done to us and done to our country.
All right, let's continue. We have the last part is what's next. Well, the GOP convention is this week. The RNC nominates Trump as its candidate. Trump picks J.D. Vance as his vice president running mate. Jury's still out on Vance. We'll see. There's a lot of information going both ways, that he's a patriot, a true patriot, or that he's part of the unit party. We'll see. Trump's support most likely to increase because of this incident, and Trump will start to get intelligence briefings now from the CIA and all the intelligence agencies in DC. So you're watching Trump as the next president of the United States. I guarantee it. And unless the Democrats do another pandemic or another actions that will interfere in the elections, I don't see Biden or another Democrat alternative winning against Trump. The FBI investigation will likely be long and full of unanswered questions, and the Democrats are likely to keep trying to silence Trump. So their rhetoric, their normal, average game plan to shut out their opponents, political opponents, is not working, because the public is being awakened by reality, by the truth, by what's going on in their daily lives, and the general public does not trust the mainstream media anymore. And those of you who still trust the mainstream media, well, I suggest you question everything you hear from the mainstream media, because they're not telling you the truth. They haven't been told. I mean, you can go back to the 1980s and 90s and look at what they said about, for example, climate change, what they said about the elections, what they said about Democrats and Republicans, and as of late, what they said during the pandemic, what they said about Trump, for example, saying that this virus came from China, and everybody making fun of him because he said that. And it was proven that it came from a lab, maybe not in China, maybe in a district or city or state located in Ukraine. So the military complex is high on this list in terms of being part of the deep state, and they're probably funding everything that will make Trump not be the winner in this year's election. So this is what we have. This is what we are seeing. Okay, now we'll turn into Twitter to see and look at the latest on this event. Just in 2 hours ago, Donald Trump officially announces J.D. Vance as vice president. This is coming from Bricks News. And this is breaking from Benny Johnson. Donald Trump is officially the Republican nominee for president of the United States.
Florida, 125 delegates.
Madam Secretary, and everybody in this great city. On behalf of our entire family, and on behalf of the 125 delegates in the unbelievable state of Florida, we hereby nominate every single one of them for the greatest president that's ever lived, and that's Donald J. Trump. Hereby declaring him the Republican nominee for President of the United States of America.
It's official. All right, and then we're continuing. So after he was shot, on the same day he went to the UFC in Denver. This is amazing. This is Trump. This is the leader of the free world, and this is the guy who's going to bring back America to its right place in the world, and not only save America, but in the process make the world a better place. He's going to stop the wars. He's going to stop the suffering. He's going to stop the genocide in Gaza. He's going to stop the madness going in Ukraine, and he's going to bring peace to the world. So, all right, let's continue. And so, as of today, we have big news. This is a tweet from Benny Johnson again. A truth post by Donald Trump. It reads, as we move forward in uniting our nation after horrific events on Saturday, this dismissal of the lawless indictment in Florida should be just the first step. So the classified document, a case against him in Florida, has been dismissed, and he's talking about this, and he says follow quickly. So this dismissal of the lawless indictment in Florida should be just the first step, followed quickly by a dismissal of all the witch hunts, the January 6th hoax in Washington, the Manhattan DA's zombie case, the New York AG scam, fake claims about a woman I never met, a decades old photo in a line where their husband does not count, and in the Georgia Perfect phone call charges. Democrat Justice Department coordinated all these political attacks, which are an election interference conspiracy against Joe Biden's political opponent, me. Let us come together to end all weaponization of our justice system and make America great again. All right, let's continue. So I was telling you about the mainstream media not covering or not showing the assassination attempt of Trump on Saturday. And this is a post by Dr. Simone Gold. It reads, I am in the center of Times Square, not a single video monitor reporting that President Trump has been shot. The depth of the censorship and propaganda is outstanding. So I'll let you.
Friends, I'm in the middle of Times Square and I just got the news that President Donald Trump has been shot, and I am completely shocked. I've heard it appears he's okay, but look behind me. I'm in the center of Times Square. There's huge video monitors behind me, huge TVs behind me. Not a single report on the news about the president being shot. Now, on the other side of Times Square, we're looking over Times Square. This is the center of New York. You see all those video monitors outside? Right? See all this? None of them are reporting that the presidential candidate for the Republican Party has been shot. Not a word. Look at that. If anybody has any doubt about the depth of the censorship and propaganda that we are living in 21st century in 2024 have no doubts anymore. Presidential candidate has been shot and not a single mention of it in the center of Times Square. All of these videos, right?
Yeah. So there's proof that the mainstream media is still controlled by the deep state, by the cabal propaganda. And here's the mastermind of the assassination attempt.
I want to speak to you tonight about the need for us to lower the temperature in our politics. And to remember, while we may disagree, we are not enemies. We're neighbors. We're friends, co-workers, citizens, and most importantly, we're fellow Americans. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans quote a clear and present danger to our democracy.
This guy is gone. He has Parkinson's. He's delusional. He's got dementia as well, probably. And he's spewing hate. He is dividing America. This is on him. This assassination attempt is on him. And what are conservatives guilty of? Being patriotic, loving this country, loving their families, loving their faith, and being respectful to their neighbor. I mean, all the violence has been perpetrated and pushed by Democrats and their proxies like Antifa and BLM. This is what we have in America today. Tyrannical dictator-like administration that is running a police state, that you get censored and you get a visit from the FBI or the Department of Homeland Security because you put some tweets or posted something that they didn't like on Facebook or Twitter. All right, let's continue. We have an analysis here at CNN right after the assassination attempt. And
here's where I thought it was lacking. He said the political rhetoric's gotten too hot. We got to cool it down. And what I wanted him to say was, and you know what that means to me too. Donald Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything America stands for. And a few days later, it's time to put Donald Trump in the bullseye. Yep. Now, if the President of the United States had said, I bear some responsibility here, and I'm going to do my part, this would have been a home run. He didn't do that. Instead, he spread it all around, which I guess is as far as he's willing to go. But let me tell you how Republicans are going to take that. They're going to take that as a president who has repeatedly said, I want to heal the soul of the nation, and the buck stops here, but with an unwillingness to acknowledge some of the things that he has said to bring us to a place that he says we're in.
Democrats from all in all government levels do this. They portray innocence. They portray virtue. The people at the county council do this all the time. The executive Mark Lurch does this a long time. And we're going to cover this in episode 31 that we're currently working on. But here we go. We have a tweet from BK. While liberals were calling this staged and the worst acting they've ever seen, this man, Corey Comparatore, gave his life to protect his family. Shame on your creeps for even typing those words. So there are a lot of liberal pundits that are saying that this was staged, and an image from this father, Corey, who put his body in front of his child and died because he didn't want his child to get shot. And as you can see in the video, the one gentleman said, was pointing to his head, that the person got shot in the head. So, yeah, sad, very sad day for America. And this is a tweet from Breitbart News. The doctor at the hospital said he never saw anything like this. He called it a miracle. This guy doesn't need to run for office. This guy's a billionaire. This guy should be playing golf every day, celebrating his, spending time with his grandchildren, with his family, and his son. But he's working for us. He's literally putting his life in front to represent us. God bless him. And here's a tweet from Dan Scavino. This is as of July 14th, yesterday. Truth by Donald Trump. It says, based on yesterday's terrible events, I was going to delay my trip to Wisconsin and the Republican National Convention by 2 days, but have just decided that I cannot allow a shooter or potential assassin to force change to scheduling or anything else. Therefore, I will be leaving for Milwaukee, as scheduled at 3:30 p.m. today. Thank you, DJT. The guy is a true leader. The guy has more courage. Courage is oozing out of him. All right, so I mean, we've said this before. When Democrats don't get their way, they get dangerous, and we've seen it in history. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Democrats didn't want their slaves to be freed, so they shot them. And right here we have Democrats. I mean, these people are unhinged, Hollywood actors unhinged, and they are evil people. They're mentally unstable people who have sold themselves to the globalists, to the people that hate America, and they are sellouts, and they see Trump as a paramount enemy that will take them to justice. That's why everybody is saying Trump will get vengeance against his political opponents. No, he will not get vengeance. He will get justice. Big difference. This is what Democrats say. And tell me this doesn't align with inciting violence or inciting violent actions against your political opponents, in this case the Republicans or conservatives.
Go and take Trump out tonight. Take him out now. Okay.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
Trumpers, be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Then punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
Feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school.
If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Democrats want civil war. They want to destroy America. They want to finish what they started in 1861, and this is a reality. I mean, you can't escape it. I put it in episodes. I put the information out there that the truth about the Democrats and Republicans is that Democrats were slave owners and they went to a war to keep their slaves and they lost, and they've been angry ever since, and they want to destroy America. How can anybody not see this right there in front of you? And this is the lady we're talking about. She is the Secret Service director, Kim Sheetal, and she should resign immediately because she has failed at her job. And I'm guessing she's compromised, and she's a Biden supporter, and she's a Democrat or socialist, Marxist, communist. I'm sure of that, just like Mayorkas, just like every other cabinet member in Biden's administration. So we're talking about the phones, right? We're talking about the phones that the feds can go get into January 6th phones, but not the shooter's phone. Come on, this is a tweet from Hodgett twins, And here we go. Here's a report from Laura Ingram, and she says that the following.
Official is telling Fox they believe the shooter acted alone. We're also learning that they can't get into his cell phone. They have it at Quantico, but haven't been able to get any data out of it.
And they keep repeating the same propaganda lines. He acted alone. He acted alone. And here's the tweet from Juanita Broderick. It says they say they can't access Thomas Crook's phone. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe might be self-incriminating. How did there's a tweet picture there. It says how did the FBI determine shooter acted alone within hours without being able to access his phone? You can't make this up. Democrats, you're seeing the implosion of the Democrat Party as we speak. They have nowhere to go. And here's a little summary of what happened to Trump. In 2016, the Democrats said he was a Russian spy. 2017, they said the same thing. He was a Russian spy. 2018, the same thing. 2019, the same thing. 2020, the Democrats said he's literally Hitler. 2021, he's literally Hitler. 2022, he's literally Hitler. 2023, he's literally Hitler again. And 2024, they're saying, why would someone attempt to assassinate him? So you have, again, the guilty party, the Democrat corrupt political establishment, the Union Party, made up of Democrats and rhinos. And you have the mainstream media and their proxies spewing propaganda to shift the minds of the general public to hate and vilify Trump. But as I mean, you got to be blind to believe that stuff, because if you're Hitler, why is Trump being supported by black community now? Why is Trump being supported by the Hispanic community now? You got to think about that. So one of the initial things that happened on Saturday was Elon Musk put in a tweet, I fully endorse, it says, I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery. All right, so this is a video I wanted to show you, and this is from Milkbar TV. It's a good summary of what happened. So the Secret Service, the local police had identified the shooter and did nothing. So the tweet reads, watch the real-time assassination attempt on Donald Trump from different angles with countdown from footage of people warning authorities about the shooter to Trump being whisked away. So I'll let you go ahead and watch the full video on full screen.
If we were doing this job, I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful place with a gorgeous ocean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down, see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And still I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
And it's
There he
not
is.
easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. And it's much tougher than if it happened. We have the strongest border ever. In recorded history, we're the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much? You don't mind if I go off teleprompter, do you? Because these teleprompters are so damn boring, I try and explain that. Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it. They're getting better with time. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that says,
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys.
We got breaking news. We got breaking news coming in. Shots fired. Seems to be shots fired at the Trump rally. Is he okay? Need to go live right now. We are live right now at the Trump rally. We don't know if President Trump has been shot. We know he hit the ground. We do not know if President Trump has been shot. He's up. He's up. Shots are still continuing to be fired. He's giving a thumbs up, everybody. He's giving a thumbs up. Breaking news right now. This is Vanessa Broussard reporting to you live from Butler, Pennsylvania. We hear shots fired at the rally not 10 to 15 minutes after President Trump arrived. He hit the ground. Unheard of yet if he has been hit by gunfire. Secret Service quickly erupted.
You can see the guy
there.
there.
The snipers on the building behind the...
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
All right, so that's the summary. As you can see, the shooter was identified by the public, and Secret Service and law enforcement were slow to react. And we gave you information as to the Secret Service upper management, or the bosses, the higher ups, not giving the order to shoot the would-be assassin. So again, this should shock every American, independently of whether they are Democrat or Republican or Libertarian or Green Party or whatever. This is America right now. We are at war. We are at war against the deep state, the globalist, the cabal, who want to destroy America, and this guy standing on it in his way. So here's another tweet from Libs of TikTok. It says, more importantly, he's quoting Biden. Most importantly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Trump is a threat to the nation. So what happens when political leaders, and in this case the president, Biden, tells the public that a person is a threat to democracy? You don't think the Antifa crazies and domestic terrorist organizations like Antifa and BLM are not going to take his word for it and act on it?
Most importantly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Trump is a threat to this nation.
Wow. Right, so we have the usual suspects here. We showed you the information on these four criminals, and they will face justice soon. Legal justice, not violence, not advocating for violence here. We're advocating for justice. They should face their time in court and be judged. And we have more information on the shooter. This is a tweet from SGAnon. Observe everything, conclude little. So here's a tweet that says, what is the likelihood that this person at the ripe old age of 20 years and absolutely no formal weapons training was able to acquire a rifle, unload the rifle inconspicuously from a vehicle, climb a ladder with said rifle onto a sheet metal roof noise adjacent to the rally complex and draw no attention, bear crawl himself forward on said roof to a spot where a clear line of sight for Donald Trump was available, sight in the rifle and fire enough shots to injure Trump and kill a rally attendee before being neutralized by a USSS sniper, U.S. Secret Service sniper, who also had a clear shot line in sight for the shooter's rooftop position in the first place. Lee Harvey Oswald, John Wilkes Booth, Thomas Matthew Crooks. Yeah, those are questions that need to be asked. Here's a tweet from Alex Jones that reads, "Truth is stranger than fiction." This is one of the craziest photos ever. So you can see right there on the blue circle, on the red circle, that the bullet that Ray touched or grazed Trump's right ear. Right there, that's the bullet. Incredible. Make no mistake, the Democrats wanted to kill Trump. They missed. They failed. Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, so this is what we're seeing. This is what we have in terms of the information. Of course, a lot of information is still being digested. It's all coming through. But we'd like to thank you for your attention in this special report, and please join us. Join the resistance.